and welcome to the very first episode of Kylie and the King. Okay, I don't even know where to start. Obviously, I'm very new to this, and I lose track of my words a lot, so just bear with me. I encourage you to just stick it out and give this whole podcast a listen. Because you never know, you might hear something that you really need to hear. So, Lord, I just pray that you speak through me on this podcast and just let the words flow out of my mouth from you and not through myself. And just use me to reach somebody, use me to touch somebody and connect with someone that needs it, and just have your words, not mine, Lord. I just ask that you bless this and you put your hand on it, and just, I know you gave me this vision for a reason. I hope that I can live it out and do well and just serve you through this, Lord. Amen. Okay, so, first of all, thank you for tuning in if you are. I just want to kind of start off by introducing myself, I guess. My name is Kylie, hence the name Kylie and the King. I am 23 years old. I have a 4-year-old daughter, and I am pregnant with my second. I am married. I've only been married for a few months. My husband is not the biological father of my daughter. We will probably get into that a little bit later on. But yeah, that's just a little bit about me. I'm staying home, stay-at-home mom lately. But for the past 3 years, I have been like a single working mom. So, yeah, this has always kind of been the dream. And now we are living it out. So I'm very grateful for that. Let's just kind of talk about why I am doing this podcast. You're probably wondering, isn't that a little silly? Like, who's gonna listen? Why, what is the reasoning, right? I really can't tell you the specific reason why I want to have a podcast. I think it's just been on my heart for a while now. And I have just been doubting myself. I have kind of been wondering the same thing. Why would I do a podcast? Who would listen to it? What would the reason be? What would I talk about? But for however long, I can't even think, maybe 2 years, that I've been debating starting a podcast. I have accumulated a long list of podcast ideas, topics for me to talk about on here. Forgive my stuttering. I will probably do that a lot, so if that bothers you, I'm sorry. But yeah, and it's something I've wanted to do for a long time, and I really just haven't had the space for it, or the time, or the energy, or the motivation. But we're here now. I am 5 months pregnant, and I am just in a place where I think, why not now? So here we are. And for the first episode, I thought, what better thing to kind of talk about than to just kind of share my testimony. I know that might not be the most interesting topic to some people, but you never know. Some people can relate to a lot of things that I've gone through in life, and I think that it would take 10 episodes to really share everything about my testimony, but I'm just gonna kind of give a rundown, if you will. So, growing up, I had divorced parents. They weren't ever actually married. They split when I was 1. So, for as long as I can remember, I had a stepfather. And my relationship with him was not good. The household environment that we were in was not good. Just not the most healthy. And there was a lot of trauma accumulated from my childhood. And I have 4 sisters. I have 2 sisters that I grew up with in my house. My mom's side, they both have different dads. We all 3 have different fathers. And then I have 2 other sisters on my dad's side, and they have the same mom, but their mom is also no longer with my father. Now I am blessed with an amazing stepmom. I think that she is just a godsend for my dad and for me. And I have two more sisters, stepsisters, that are her children. So it's a big, blended, mixed family. But all that to say, obviously, yeah, my growing up was not ideal. I had a lot going on all the time. And, there's some generational curses of that I really wanted to break for my children. But here we are. I made some of the same mistakes. And that's just going to be part of my child's testimony, and I'm giving it to God. The fact that I even know the Lord now, I think, is just a good step in the right direction. Um, but yeah, as you can tell, that led to some issues in my teenage years, I guess. I made a lot of bad choices, probably more than most. I guess you could say I was coping in all the wrong places, looking to all the wrong things. And that led to more trauma, toxic relationships, drug abuse, addictions, just a lot of things that I'm still dealing with now as a young adult because it wasn't that long ago. So then in the midst of that is where I found the Lord. He actually came to me and spoke to me, and that is what piqued my interest into learning about Jesus. I mean, we went to church occasionally growing up, just like little here and there's with friends or whatever. But I didn't really have a relationship ever with the Lord until He came to me in a very dark moment of my life. And I was like, okay, maybe I need to just lean into this. I need to learn more about this. And I did. And I actually found out I was pregnant shortly after that moment, that God reached out to me. And that just encouraged me even more. I was like, this is the time to get right and figure myself out, because I am bringing a child into the world and I want what's best for her. And so, yeah, I really leaned into the Lord after that. I got baptized while I was pregnant. And I have been living my life with the Lord over 4 years now, because my daughter is 4. So like 4.5, almost 5 years. I think it'll be 5 years in October is when I got baptized, I believe. But all that to say, here we are now today. Um, you know, I gave my life to the Lord, and I still had issues. I still was in a toxic relationship at the time. I got out of that toxic relationship, and then I became a single mother. I was a single mom for a while. Really navigating that area was a hard time. Um, Financially, mostly, was a lot of the struggles just trying to provide for me and my daughter, trying to figure everything out, trying to serve the Lord and just do what you have to do to survive. It's a lot. And, I've always really tried to prioritize my relationship with God, and I think that it's hard. It's hard to manage things between worldly things and your spiritual life. It is really hard to balance everything. Um, and then, I moved to Florida at a certain point, I think 2.5 years ago, because my best friend lived there and she wanted me to come and live with her and be a live-in nanny. So I did that for about 6 months, and then took another crazy turn in my life like I always do, and I had to navigate that. That was a really hard point, trying to find a new job, trying to find somewhere else to live, all at once, and it was just hard. It was just a hard time. I figured it out. God provided. I still had struggles financially. I still had struggles with everything. And life goes on. You figure them out. God takes you through things. And I ended up meeting my husband. Mutually, we both enjoyed line dancing, so that's where we met. That's how we met. I think that it's kind of a cute story. It's kind of cheesy. It's kind of like cliche, but I love it. So we met from dancing, country swing. We were friends for a while, kind of more mutuals than friends, really. And then we kind of started talking, hanging out a little bit more. And then it very quickly became more than friends. Obviously, we hung out a few times and it was basically like, okay, so we're dating, right? Like, this is, you're not seeing other people, are you? Like, very quickly became boyfriend and girlfriend. And we also very quickly became engaged and married. And he is in the military. So people think that's part of the motive. Being honest, it is. I mean, yeah, about 3 months into us dating, we found out that he, after 4 years of being in Florida, being untouched, he was being asked to PCS. If you don't know what that means he had to move. So the military was moving him, and it was kind of a freak out moment in our relationship where it's like, what do we do? Like, this isn't gonna work out. Like, devastation, all the things, and I was kind of like, hey, like, we can get through this. Like, if we both know that, like, we want this to last a lifetime and, like, we're willing to do that, like, that's the motion we need to move towards. But if we aren't sure about that, then, hey, like, let's just call it what it is and, throw in the towel and move on with our lives. And ultimately, we both decided that, like, we had already known that we wanted to marry each other because I think we both kind of were people that dated with that intention. I think that I probably wouldn't date someone for 3 months if I didn't see myself marrying them. Personally, that's just how I view dating. And so we got engaged very quickly. He proposed to me on the dance floor. It's very cute. Yes, I know. And funny story, he actually dropped the ring while proposing. Don't tell him I said that. But yeah. Anyway, then we got married 3 months later, I think. So, because we were on a time budget, time crunch, I guess, we had to get married before he left. So, then that brought us here, where we are today. Oh, my goodness. As I mentioned, I am pregnant. That happened, like, basically right after we got married. So, getting married is a big adjustment in its own. You are blending your life with this other person. You're learning new things about them every single day. Marriage is hard, and everyone says that, and yada yada. You don't believe it till you see it, kind of thing. You experience it and you work through it. But, on top of newly married, I'm also pregnant, which, if you know, hormonal, emotional, physically draining. This pregnancy was terrible to me. I was sick forever. Feels like I really truly thought that I should have been in a hospital bed, like on life support. It was bad. So that does a lot to your mental health. And then moving away from all of your community that you love and cherish is hard. Yeah, it's been rough. It has been a rough few months, guys. And that's where we're at now, and I'm being honest with that because it's just tough. I'm doing a lot better in this moment because I'm not so deathly sick anymore. I have found ways to kind of fill my time with fulfilling hobbies. I'm reaching out to community here. I'm trying to get back up. And yeah, it's just hard. It will pass just like the rest did. It's just another one of those times, and God will bring me through it, and it brings me closer to Him every time. So, and that is where we are now, and that is what led me to be in this place of staying home and not having to work a full-time job, and being married and being encouraged and being drawn near to Him, and just doing this podcast and just everywhere that I am in life right now. That's all the moments that have led me to this. So, enough about me. That's a little bit, a lot of it about me. One more thing I just want to share. Something that I'm working on right now is obviously trying to find joy in the moments, in the little moments, trying to have a positive perspective, because that is something I've always struggled with. I mean, like, I'm not going to say that I've had the best life. Nobody has. But I think that I tend to usually focus on the negative things because I feel like I need to fix that thing. I need to fix my life. So it's just so hard for me to kind of focus on the positive because I'm so worried about the negative things. I want to get past that. But we're trying to work on that now. We're trying to, even in the hard times, focus on what is good. So, thank you guys for listening. I know that was a whole lot of nothing to some people, but I hope it meant something to somebody, and I can't wait to see where this goes. I can't wait to explore this, and you don't know if something's going to work until you try it, right? So here we are. We're doing the thing, and I am just blessed. I'm excited, and I have so many ideas for this. I just hope that it just does well because it means so much to me, and my heart is really in it. So obviously you want things to prosper that you really care about. So that is where I'm at with this. And I thank you again for listening. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing week. I hope that you learn something, grow, and just, yeah, all the things. So I'll see you guys next time.